If you're thinking about moving to Twinsburg, Ohio, there are 3 things that you may hate about this area. We're going to go over some of the pros and cons of living in this area. My business partner, Missy Smith, who actually lives in Twinsburg, is here. She's going to talk about some of the pros. So if you are not familiar with Twinsburg, Twinsburg is about 20 miles north of Akron and about 20 miles southeast of Cleveland, Ohio. It's a little bit smaller of a town. There's about 20,000 people here. And we're just going to jump right into the pros and cons of living in this area.
So my first pro about the location of Twinsburg is, first of all, I really enjoy the metro parks that are around here. They're very easy access. The pathways are fantastic. They've got some that kind of come down, where the ledges are. So you've got a, nice variation of different metro parks to walk through. Very dog friendly. We do have a dog park. And I really also like too the fact that we are, 91 just straight up to Solon or straight down to Hudson. It gives us a lot of flexibility in restaurants and shopping. And so if you work in Cleveland or Akron, it's also nice because we're about 40 minutes to either one. And we have our access to 480 right here, right off of the downtown of Twinsburg Square. So it's just an easy jaunt to both.
So con number 1, a reason that you might not want to live here, is also the location. We are centrally located between Hudson and Chagrin Falls, so you have those little towns to go to. And we're about 20 miles from Cleveland. But if you're looking at getting on the highway, some of these neighborhoods in Twinsburg, it takes you about 15 minutes just to get to the highway. Now, if you're going south, like if you want to go to Columbus, for example, you're going to have to weave through Macedonia area just to get to 271 South. If you're looking at going north, there's 480 access right here in the middle of town. And we're in downtown Twinsburg right now in the town square. And the 480 freeway is right over there. So it's not too big of a deal, but 480 also gets pretty busy during rush hour also. So traffic can get a little slowed. So just remember, if you're looking at anywhere in the central area of Twinsburg, you're either going to have to go through Solon or you're going to have to come down to 480 or hit Macedonia if you're looking at going south. So the location, while it's a great centrally located area, just getting to the major highways is kind of a pain.
The second pro to living in Twinsburg is probably the things to do. We have our Twins Festival every year annually, the first weekend in August. Super fun. We had over 2,000 twins in the Twins Day Parade this past weekend. We also have our Rock the Park concert series, which is super fun. In fact, tomorrow night is Disco Inferno, and they will be playing over at our amphitheater that's over behind the pool in the high school. And it's just lots and lots of fun. And again, we also, like we talked about, our parks and stuff, but there's also, great pathways here in the middle of the town square and easy access shopping just on a casual Saturday.
Now, of course, on the other side of that, con number 2 is going to be downtown Twinsburg. So this is the Twinsburg Square right here. It's fairly small. There are a few fast food restaurants. I mean, there's a Chipotle, there's a Starbucks. There aren't a lot of restaurants, and there really isn't like a downtown. So if you look at Chagrin Falls or Hudson, or maybe even Solon has a lot of restaurants, and it's really only 10 minutes away. But Twinsburg itself doesn't really have a downtown area like Chagrin Falls does. So there aren't a lot of people walking around. There aren't little shops that you can go in and out of. There are grocery stores, of course, here. There's a Giant Eagle and a Heinen's, which is great. So everything's convenient access, but there just isn't that kind of downtown feel here in Twinsburg as there is compared to like Hudson or Chagrin Falls.
Another thing that we really love, especially as a family, is the 4 seasons that we have here in Ohio. Fall is amazing, but at that point then you're kind of excited about, the winter season. And then once you get through the winter season and you're tired of being cold, spring comes around and we have the most beautiful summers, I think, in Northeast Ohio. So if you do love snowy weather, we do. We have Boston Mills skiing that's about 25 minutes from here. We also have some amazing hills here in Twinsburg that my kids have sled down many winters. So just a lot of fun stuff going on. But I will say one thing that I really love about Twinsburg is we are just below the snow belt. So my office is in Chagrin Falls. So I can leave my house on a snowy morning and maybe have a dusting, and by the time I get up to Chagrin Falls, they could have 6 inches. So it's a drastic difference between just being in the snow belt and just below. Another pro are our schools here in Twinsburg. We have lots of people that actually want to move to Twinsburg because of our school system. According to GreatSchools.com, our elementary and our middle school have been rated 7 out of 10, and our high school is actually rated 8 out of 10. My husband and I actually were a blended family, and we have 8 kids, so we can speak to a lot of the different teachers, grades, activities that are through our school system, and we absolutely love it.
So con number 3, this is a really big one here, and this is the weather, especially the winters here, because the summers here are fantastic, but as soon as you get into December, January, February, it starts to kind of grate on you. And seasonal depression is a pretty big thing in Northeast Ohio, so as soon as you hit February, it gets a little bit depressing. Now, some people love that gray, cloudy weather, but it is cloudy, it is gray, it is rainy, it gets cold. There is snow here for probably 4 months, 3-4 months out of the year. And of course, that's always something to consider when you're buying a house here too, because if you don't have a garage, you're going to be parking outside in the snow and you'll have to clean your car off. You also might want to consider a snow blower for your driveway, especially if snow plowing can be a little bit unreliable, and keeping it clean for getting up at 6 in the morning to go to work is kind of a pain. So if you're thinking about moving here, obviously you're going to be looking for a house. So let's talk a little bit about the real estate in Twinsburg. So Missy, what is real estate like? What's selling in this area? What's not selling?
So I would say in this area, and especially this past year, year and a half even, everything is selling. You could probably say that about most areas though around Northeast Ohio, but I would say here in Twinsburg, I've definitely had some listings that have gone within hours. In fact, one of my listings even had the police come because there were so many cars up and down the street for showings. So it's been a really hot market in Twinsburg.
Which is good and bad because people want to move here. It's an in-demand area. It's also bad because it's going to be very competitive. So a lot of what I see selling instantly are those really updated cookie cutter 3-4 bedrooms, 2-3 bathroom houses, kind of that everybody wants. And then some of the outdated stuff may sit for a couple days, but it's still going pretty quick.
One great thing about real estate in Twinsburg is that our taxes are typically lower than some of the surrounding areas around us, like Hudson, like Solon, Chagrin Falls, and definitely Shaker Heights. So that always helps, because when you're moving into an area but you don't necessarily have kids accessing the schools, you really don't want to pay those higher taxes.
So another con about real estate in Twinsburg is that there aren't a lot of rural areas. A lot of this has been developed, so there aren't too many lots that are available to build on. Most of the houses here sit on about 0.5 or less acres. There's some that go over an acre, but a lot of it's smaller lots. The houses, the average prices in Twinsburg are about $300 to $400. This past year, they've gone up into the 5s in some areas, but generally the average price around here is about $300 to $400. So those are some of the pros and cons of living in Twinsburg, Ohio. It may or may not encourage you to move here. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe this video. And of course, if you have any questions about moving to this area or real estate in general, give me a call, text, or email. I would love to hear from you. Hope you guys have a great day, and thanks again for watching.